I'd like to call the August 5th, 2025 City of LaPorte Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. June Lenig, please lead us. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Member Romine?
Here.
Mayor Dermody?
Here.
Member Kosher?
Here.
All present.
Approval of minutes from July 22nd. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Public comment. I do not have any public comment cards. We'll move forward. We do have a proclamation, Paint the Town Purple. This is the American Cancer Society Paint the Town Purple Day, and I think we all have somebody we know, family, yourself, friends that have been affected by cancer, and these fine ladies have done many things, and gentlemen, for many years to help bring the word, how to fight, how to beat cancer, and they are relentless. And ladies and gent, would you like to come forward? Sally? And who else is there? Welcome. And please state your names and address for the record.
I'm Karen Irk.
I'm Mason Phillips.
I don't know, June put me up here, you know. But we want to invite everybody out to our event on August 23rd. We're having all kinds of good fun this year to celebrate all of our survivors. And we're having a fire truck pull this year, where a team of 8 to 10 people are challenging each other to pull a fire truck. And we're doing a cornhole tournament this year. We have lots of stuff for the kids to do. We have a survivor luncheon at 12:30 this year, and after the luncheon, then we're gonna kick off relay. But in Indiana alone, the American Cancer Society has determined that approximately 42,000 people will be diagnosed newly with cancer this year. So years ago, when you got cancer, it was pretty much a death sentence. But we have three people who do relay with us who were diagnosed with lung cancer. They removed part of their lung, and they're still going strong. So we're working on it, and someday we hope to have a cure for it, for all cancers. So we hope everybody comes out and sees us and enjoys it. I myself am a cancer warrior. I have cancer. I'll have cancer my whole life. It's an incurable one, but hey, life
You're
goes
still
on.
going strong, Karen.
Yes,
You
I
are
will.
going
Yes, I
strong.
will.
And Mason, what do you have to add? You've probably been involved since you were 6 or younger.
I don't remember when the first time. I was pretty much younger. But this year it's the 40th anniversary of Relay for Life.
Yeah.
So that's a theme with Colors for Cancer.
And could you also introduce your members that are shown up here today with you?
Oh, yeah, we have June Lennig. June is our #1 person for relay. I don't care who takes over the spot of ELT, June is there. And then we have June's sister Nora. They're both cancer survivors themselves, so.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for what you do. And if people can't make it on the 23rd, they can still write a check of support. How can they do that?
They can write a check and either get it to June or to Brian Phillips, or we'll have posters. Tomorrow we're going around putting flyers up at the different stores and stuff. And you can look on the flyer and it gives you all the information, or you can go to the American Cancer Society Relay for Life and donate to us.
Please include the flyers here with Annette so we can put them up at
Yeah,
City Hall.
Yeah, June gave Annette some flyers, so, yeah.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you on the 23rd, and the best news, Mason, is you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting if you don't want to.
Let's go eat.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Clerk Treasurer, claims approval.
Okay, we have August 1st civil city payroll in the amount of $591,000.
May I hold for a moment? I apologize. I totally forgot.
I wondered.
We do have a proclamation that Member Romine is going to read, and
Mason,
afterwards, we'll be taking a photo with you.
thank you.
Be my honor. Whereas the American Cancer Society was established in 1913 and has 100 years of milestones in the fight against cancer, and whereas in 1944 the American Cancer Society prioritized funding cancer research, which to date has funded 46 Nobel laureates and is the largest non-governmental, not-for-profit funder of cancer research. And whereas the American Cancer Society reports that LaPorte County has on average 263 cancer deaths per year, touching the lives of everyone in our community. And whereas the American Cancer Society is active in our community in many ways, helping to provide assistance through the Hotel Partners Program and help with transportation. And whereas in 2025, the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life will be celebrating its 40th anniversary, the vision remains the same, to end cancer as we know it for everyone. And whereas the 2025 Relay for Life will be held on Saturday, August 23rd to finish the fight against cancer. Now therefore, Tom P. Dermody, Mayor of City of LaPorte, Indiana, hereby proclaims Wednesday, August 6, 2025 as the American Cancer Society Paint the Town Purple Day. Do I keep reading this part too?
Perfect, right there.
End it
Yeah,
there?
go ahead and read it.
Oh. In the city of LaPorte, and furthermore, I urge all citizens of our community to join the American Cancer Society in their efforts to raise funds and celebrate cancer survivorship, because together we can all make a difference. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and the great seal of the city of LaPorte, state of Indiana, this 5th day of August, 2025. Mayor Dermody.
If you guys don't mind coming up, we're gonna take, Mason, we're gonna take a photo with you. Ladies, would you like to join us?
I'm gonna take the photo right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Mason.
Clerk Treasurer, thank you for your patience. Please go
I
forward.
wasn't ready anyway. August 1st civil city payroll in the amount of $591,650.19.
I move we approve the civil city payroll.
Second?
Motion and second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
We have civil.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Oh, sorry. We have civil city claims in the amount of $766,303.20.
I move we approve the civil city claims.
Second?
Motion and a second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Water claims in the amount of $279,479.93.
I move we approve the water claims.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And sewage claims in the amount of $979,430.85. There's bond payments in there as well.
I move we approve the sewage claims.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Also would like to ask for the board's permission. Our WEX invoices cut at the end of every month. So July 31st, we just received our invoices. That didn't give us enough time to get our WEX payments on the docket. So I'm asking for permission for the WEX payments to be paid. You will see them on the next docket. You'll see them on the following docket, but we need to make the payment right away so that nobody's gas is cut off. They have credit limits, and they will be very mad at me if we don't get that done.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Department head report, Jess Boljeric, Andrea Smith, HR, Dan Drake, code enforcement. And you can slide that over if you'd like, or,
Perfect.
Morning,
Thank you.
Mayor, Board. Right now, we're working on vacant properties, trying to locate owners, trying to get those taken care of. We did just condemn one property over on Tipton Street for living conditions were just terrible. So, and with that,
was that a rental?
yeah. So,
Who was the landlord?
Kevin Yang. And the grass battle continues, so that's pretty much where where we're at. Okay. All right.
Questions? Were people in the home?
Yes.
606?
Yes.
Did you help to relocate them, or was there some help with the trustee's office potentially?
Yeah, they were helped, and the owner did have another property that he was able to, I believe, relocate at least one. So there has been some issues with squatters, but the owner's supposed to be getting it secured.
So it was a multi-house,
Yeah.
multi-unit house.
Thank you.
Same individual from Maple?
Correct. Mark Schreiber, Park.
Yeah, just a few items for this morning. Obviously, we're just over a week removed from Lake Fest, so I want to thank everybody involved with that. It was our 5th annual event. We keep building more and more momentum with it. Obviously, the storms were a deterrent to the weekend. We did lose an event completely, lost parts of other events, and we had to postpone the fireworks. But great turnout for the Jesse McCartney concert, great enthusiasm there, and a lot of great new events. So I just want to thank everybody involved with that. With summer wrapping up, we still have some big events coming up. Friday Night Live this Friday, Cheeseburger in Paradise from 6 to 10. The Yacht Rockettes from Chicago are coming down as entertainment. And, of course, we'll have plenty of food trucks out there in the battle for best cheeseburger. We'll see if the reigning champ can keep their title. And then on Saturday, we've got a great Jimmy Buffett band, Gone to Paradise. They're at 7 o'clock at the Civic. With the summer buy one, get one sale for balcony tickets, you can get in for just $10. So I've seen this band before. They were here last year. I've seen Jimmy Buffett a number of times, and they do a great job of replicating a Jimmy Buffett concert. So anybody who's on the fence, if you can get in for $10, what a great deal. We do still have tables and floor seating available. That starts around $30. But overall, just going to be a great day Saturday out at the Civic. Great day Friday night. I guess we'll be in Paradise for 2 days. So plenty going on. And with this being the end of summer, kids go back to school next week. Sunday will be the last day for lifeguards on Stone Lake Beach. Want to make sure the public's aware of that. And in celebration of the kids going back to school, Hot Rod Snow Cones has their back-to-school beach bash both Saturday and Sunday out there with specials and their inflatables. They'll have kiddie karaoke, all kinds of things going on. So Stone Lake Beach has been highly popular this summer and expect it to be for this last weekend before the kids go back to school.
Thank you. Mike Frey, Streets.
We'll be doing some more patching, and we're crack sealing over on 12th and other roads, street sweeping and repairing sidewalks.
And then you've put signs up, working with the state to make sure the truck traffic is off.
Detour signs, yes. We're
Detour
out working on
signs.
them today for the golf course and everything.
So you'll work with Mr. Schreiber too on the local options, because it was a little hairy yesterday and people need to follow the signs. Thank you. Craig Phillips, plan.
Nothing new to report besides my agenda item.
Eric Nelson, LEAP. Please come forward.
Good morning. I just want to highlight an event Leap has tonight. It's the next installment of an event we've been holding this year called Accelerate Small Business, which is designed to help support our local small businesses on various different topics. Tonight's topic is search engine optimization and search engine marketing, and that's going to be presented by Dunlin Media. And that's tonight from 5:15 to 6:30 at the Library Exchange.
Questions? Where's Mr. Cook today?
He's on a visit with Congressman Rudy Yakum, actually, who's in town today, so,
Good excuse.
Yeah, he'll be back Friday, I understand, as well.
yep, that's what I understand.
Great. Roscoe Huffman, IT.
Nothing to report, Mr. Mayor.
Chief Snyder.
Nothing today, Your Honor.
Chief Drangmeister.
Nothing today.
Legal.
Nothing from legal.
Clerk Treasurer.
The audit is available on our website. It
Wow.
was submitted to the Federal Clearinghouse, so if you'd like to go look that up, it's on the clerk treasurer's page.
Is it officially public
It's
now?
officially public, yes.
And the public is what? It states that what? You were rated, graded, and how does it look?
Unmodified, it's a really terrible word for
It is
an
a-
okay audit, so.
But that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Just to make it clear.
Congratulations and thank you for you and your team's work, because you have a lot of balls to juggle there to get it done. Engineering,
No report, thank you.
wastewater.
As you've noticed, Indiana Avenue's closed, and that's, I heard you out directing traffic. Just to remind the board that they're gonna put that giant storm sewer right down the middle of the road. There'll be a sanitary sewer on either side, so instead of having sanitary sewers across all the way over, they'll be connected in just, and they'll be in the not in the driving lane, they'll be off the curb. Brand new water. Each house will get a new water service to their stop box, which would be somewhere near their property line, and a new valve at that point. And then each house will get a brand new sewer service to their property line.
Wow.
And new lights,
And a new sidewalk and new lights,
new
yep.
sidewalk, new lights.
Some new trees.
And some new trees, yes.
And some trees.
And we think 2-3 years, we still,
It should be done by the end of this year.
water.
I wanted to report this morning that the construction crew finished their new main replacement on East 11th and West 11th, right there, F and Hanley. There was a total rebuild for the road there, so we went ahead and replaced that water main. We're pretty much done. They got to do some pressure testing and back tease test, and then we'll be moving on to the next project. I do have a couple items for the agenda, to add to the agenda later.
And also while we have engineering, the overpass, Tipton Street overpass, how long will that project take?
Apologize. It's about a 2-year project as well, but that's
2027?
starting now. So we'll see the majority of construction in 2026.
But it'll be completed in 27.
2027, yep.
And just as an FYI, Spectrum Recycling, we have closed off. We had an agreement based on eminent domain to taking that property. They cashed our check quickly and then haven't moved out. So we have closed up the property there so we can move forward with progress. And, legal will continue to monitor that, but we did our part. And it's frustrating that someone would cash the check and then not do their part to move out. So,
We turned off utilities as well, I believe,
Correct.
right?
so. Okay, department heads, those that do not have business in front of the board, go have a great day. It's that time of year, request for home football games, Laporte.
Morning. So I have two requests for use. The first is to do with the Pop Warner cheer and football program and their annual Orange and Black season kickoff parade usually starts at Kiwanis, goes up A Street to Kessling, to the football field at Kessling. But they are changing that request. They're basically going to go around a huge block using 10th Street and E Street, part of A Street and F Street, and they're going to start at Kiwanis, go around a big block, and come back to Kiwanis due to some other activities at Kessling. So that is the request. It should be closed off for, or not, it's not completely closed off, it's a rolling close, and it's for about 2 hours.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Good luck to Laporte football.
Yeah, that's fun. I know they're already starting practice, for sure. I see them out there. The second request is an annual request from the high school to close a small section of C Street from 8th to 10th, and then a small section of 8th Street from E to F, and that is to allow buses to park near Kiwanis for, the opposing team to bring their buses up and park. And then the other section is to allow people to walk safely from the high school parking lot to Kiwanis. And they have it's just for their home games.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, we could park their buses like 10 blocks away if we wanted to.
Wear them out.
Yeah, there you go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Thank you.
I have just one additional thing. It's not a request. It's just kind of a fun notice that Tunes at Noon is going to be playing in Plaza 618 at noon on August 22nd. And they go out and they just do these free concerts, and they hope that people will donate to them, and the money goes to Arts in the Park. So if you are not busy on August the 22nd, you should go eat your lunch at Plaza 618.
Thank you. And it also, since we put an end to smoking, drinking at Plaza 618, we've noticed a great transition where mothers, kids, families are spending their time during the day at the park. So that's a good thing. Craig Phillips.
Good morning. So I have a request for approval of a grant agreement with the Unity Foundation to provide matching funding for the city's comprehensive and transportation plan, along with other partners in the amount of $50,000. So this is a pretty straightforward grant agreement with them. They applied for a larger sum of money for several projects in the county, and our project, along with some of the housing initiatives that we have planned for the near downtown area and affordable housing, we're part of that list, and so we're excited about the fact that they're helping support this effort for our community, and happy to answer any questions you have about this grant agreement and the project as well. So,
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
And it's over a 2-year period, starting about now.
yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Chief Snyder.
Thank you, Mayor. Come before the board this morning, have talked to Attorney Otis about this. It's to declare a piece of our equipment unusable. It is a old inflatable rescue boat that we had. Last year, we replaced it with a rigid inflatable boat, which has a solid bottom to it, but it's still an inflatable. The old one was getting about 20 years old, so it was, and it also was in need of repair. We found it when we took it out in cold weather situations. It did have a hard bottom to it, but that was in sections, and those had split and were folding the boat up, and as the air was less dense in the cold situation. So that's why we moved to a new one. We have no use for this boat right now, other than it was sitting on a shelf and taking up space. By chance, Valparaiso Fire Department was using it a couple of times earlier this year for training purposes, and they said that they would be happy to take that if it was no longer usable to us and put it to use in their purposes. We regularly trade training equipment with other departments, so that's where that connection came from too. So I'm asking the board to determine this as unusable equipment. That way we would be able to, by state statute, get rid of it and ultimately just give it to Valparaiso Fire Department.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Motion passes. Andrea Smith. Nick, welcome to you as well from Brown & Brown.
Good morning, Board. Andrea Smith, HR Director. May I approach and give you some color copies, please?
Please.
Thank you. Oh, we might have those, yeah. Annette may have given those
If
to
not,
us.
I'll get them back at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Good morning. We're here to ask for your approval for the stop loss along with our renewal for Anthem. We were very pleased on how the rates came in, and a lot of that is due to our employees working together, the clerk treasurer, and our team at Brown & Brown. I would like to introduce Nick Napier, who helps us tremendously with our Anthem stop loss and our Anthem renewal. Nick?
Thank you, Andrea. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm going to go ahead and go through this packet with you guys, give you an update on how the claims are running since we've kind of taken over, take a look at the historical 2 years of claims. Then we're going to briefly go over the Anthem renewal that we have on the table, which I do think is quite fantastic for what we're actually dealing with here. So page 1 in your packets, if you're following along, that's our rolling 12 claims report. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going over this today, but I do want us to focus on 2 columns. When we move all the way over to the right, you see your total medical and RX claims, and all the way on the right, you see your percentage of expected. So column second from the right there, we had all the way to the bottom. You can see in our current 12-month period, we're running at about $1.99 million in pharmacy and medical claims once we get our stop-loss reimbursements. And in that prior 12-month period, we're running about $2.1 million in medical claims. So all in all, we're running about 9.5% better than we were in that prior 12-month period. The reason that's important, healthcare is all about trends. How are we trending? We are trending in the right direction. Our claims have been looking good, and we've got the right systems in place with Anthem, with our orthopedic and our cardiovascular direct contracts that all of your members now have access to. And I think this has started to help our claims trend back down. So about a 9.5% reduction in claims in the current 12-month period when compared to that prior 12-month period. And then our column all the way on the right is percentage of expected. Current 12 months, we're running at about 86% of expected, which is great. That's about 14% less than our underwriters anticipate we'd be running at. And in that prior 12-month period, we're running at about 98%. So in our world, we always like to say, if you're funding at 100% of expected and you're running at 100% of expected, your reserves are essentially holding flat. Anytime we're below 100%, as long as we're funding well, our reserves should be growing a little bit or holding steady, and that puts us in a good position each year for a renewal. So currently, we're funding at about 101% of expected, which is great to see. So 86% of expected in the current 12, 98% of expected in that prior 12-month period. Any questions on how claims are running over the past 24 months?
Well, just, so quick question in terms of the fact that we're down percentage of expected, you attribute that to better preventative care or choosing lower cost options for, diagnostics, or where do you see that? Why is that trend?
I believe there's a portion of it that goes to a little bit more plan oversight. We've got people that are in the right programs taking slightly different medications, but maybe seeing 3-4 times the amount of savings on a particular medication that we would have been paying previously. As I kind of mentioned, a little less plan oversight with our previous carrier. I think that there's a little more due diligence going on, saying, are particular claims necessary, and are we getting the best prices on medications across the board? So there's a combination of things at the end of the day. Moving over to page 2, this is just a graphical form of what we went over on page 1. The blue line across the top is our expected claims. Anytime our red bars are under our blue line, that is positive, and we are trending in the right direction. So you see things look pretty good there, especially in the past 8 to 12 months here. We've only had 2 or 3 months that have been up and over expected. Page 3 shows you very much the same thing, but it adds a line that is that red line, and those are stop-loss reimbursements. So the city of LaPorte insures the first $125,000 on every belly button, as some of you may be aware, and you have stop-loss insurance that pays up and over that $125,000 amount. We have multiple members that are considered high-cost claimants and that have multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in claims. That's why I'm really happy with where our renewal has ended up with Anthem at the end of the day. So you do see May and June, we've had an uptick in our stop-loss reimbursements. Just to keep you guys in the loop, whenever we have someone that goes up and over that $125,000, your stop-loss carrier pays you back dollar for dollar on every claim up and over $125,000. So you've got multiple members right now that your stop-loss carrier is going to be paying out claims directly back to you for the rest of August and all the way through September. So when we take a look at our renewal, I think that we're going to be really pleased with what it looks like, considering our stop-loss is paying out each and every month, and there's probably a couple $100,000 more that will be coming back into our reserve account through those stop-loss reimbursements.
And so with that, like when that happens, there's no limitation on the care, right? The patients continue to get, or the members continue to get
Correct.
appropriate care. There's no pressure to change anything from
Correct.
the stop-loss carrier.
Yep.
Okay.
Generally, in these types of settings, I like to talk about it as the Mack truck or the cancer, right? If someone gets hit by a Mack truck, it's $3 million and 100 surgeries. You guys are only on the hook for the first $125,000, and if it's $3 million in care, you get all of that back dollar for dollar from your stop-loss carrier. Same thing with cancer. If somebody needs multiple treatments, $500,000 in cancer care, you guys pay the first $125,000. Anything over that with no cap comes directly back to you guys at the end of the day.
And they're not rejected, I think is what you're getting at,
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
They're never turned away, rejected, till
That's
they're
correct. They
not.
have the same exact continuity of care, and the standard of care remains the same. They're never asked to go see a different provider or do anything different. Any other questions on that piece? So I'm going to briefly go over the renewal that we have on page 4. We take a look at column 1. Column 1 is our current plan year that we sit in right now, and that ends at the end of September. So as you guys may be aware, October 1st, we'll start our new plan year for 2025. In this current plan year, we're going to head all the way to the bottom and talk about the important stuff. We have $2.74 million in expected cost for this current plan year, and we're actually funding just a little bit over that. So when we went to Anthem for our initial renewal, you can see at the very bottom, they came back with a $2.95 million expected cost for our upcoming plan year, or about a 7.5% increase in cost for this upcoming plan year. We went back to the drawing board. We had our underwriters work on a few different things, got the baseball bats out. Number 3 column, when we head to the bottom, our updated and firm renewal from Anthem has actually come in at about $2.78 million. So our expected costs to fund the entire group health plan for the next plan year have only gone up about 1.4%, or less than $40,000. I would say for us having multiple members in the stop-loss reimbursement threshold, this is a fantastic offer that we've got on the table. They started at about an 18% increase on that stop-loss. We're able to negotiate that down to about 11% right now. So the stop-loss cost is a small portion of the total plan cost, so I don't want us to get too focused on that. But the fact that your stop-loss carrier is already paying out on multiple members and will continue to do so on every claim for them through September 30th, this puts us in a really good position to control our costs next year and maintain the exact same network and the same stop-loss carrier that we have in place. So when all is said and done, we're looking at just under about a 1.5 increase on our healthcare plan costs for the upcoming year, which is great to see. Any questions before I move to the funding piece?
Just, so it looks like a lot of that savings kind of from the initial to the revised, or I'm sorry, to the renewal, looks like a lot of it was that clinic expense piece? To the
Yes,
tune of about $200,000, right?
that's correct. Yep, we've put a new
With
system
same
in
service levels
place.
and everything, like, and no change in anything?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. We've got the Franciscan health clinics that are up and running now, and I think that's actually helped us really get a hold on our financial situation that puts us in a good spot to move
Yeah,
forward.
that's great.
And heard
That's
very
something that was-
positive
Right.
from employees that have used it.
That's something recent that was done, is that correct?
Correct.
I believe effective May 1st, everyone started using the Franciscan Health Clinic. Now, if somebody enjoys going to North Shore, they have the ability to do that, they would just pay out of pocket, and it's not going to be covered for them free as a member of the health plan.
Big savings.
So when all is said and done, about a 1.4% increase in our expected costs for the plan year, which is great to see. Let's go to the next page, page 5, and kind of put a bow on this. When we take our funding into account, our funding looks fantastic. So the way the renewal ends up playing out, if we wanted to fund our expenses for next year, technically, we could do a 1% reduction in our funding and have what we need to fund full plan costs for next year. It would not be financially responsible for me to stand up here and say, take a 1% reduction. I don't even stand in these meetings and say, take a rate hold, because everything that you bought last year for the most part is going to cost a little bit more next year. So I think we're in a position to fund the plan. Technically, we could do a 1% decrease if we were absolutely in need of money and needed to move things around. The recommendation from our point of view, consider maybe taking a 1 or 1.5 or 2% max increase on your funding level. If there's absolutely no wiggle room on finances this year, I think we could all feel comfortable taking a rate hold and having what we need to fund our costs without dipping into our reserves. And ideally, if we run well again, our reserves should continue to grow slightly as we go through each probably three-month period.
So repeat that again, Nick. You're suggesting to have proper coverage, which is important, that you're suggesting we,
Take an increase in funding by 1, maybe 2%. Technically, the numbers are saying we could reduce our funding and still cover our planned costs for next year, but the funding is critical. I always want to make sure we're continuing
The
to
smarter
improve
thing.
our funding.
Yeah, the smarter thing to do is,
and is that between employee contribution?
That does not take the employee contribution piece into
That
it.
would just be,
That would be on the total funding of the plan itself. So the employee contribution piece could be determined internally. We could obviously make recommendations on what we see in our public entity book of business, but that's just overall funding from Courtney's perspective on what she's putting in the healthcare reserve account each month.
which then would be the 933,000, is what you'd recommend?
Those are the reserve requirements. So those are a separate number. Basically, let's move, instead of 933, think about that as 739.
Okay.
That 739 is our reserve recommendation. That's where we want your reserves at in case things were to go off the rails. If you had reserves at 700,000, you would have no issue covering all of your claims.
In the budget, on the appropriation reports, for half of the year, it comes from the general fund, and for half the year, it comes from CDET. I can show you that in the budget booklet.
So you're recommending, though, I just want to make sure we know that number to do it correctly versus just get by. What's that difference?
The recommendation would be on that next page, there's a column with a 1% increase, and the 3 different plans, that's what we recommend the city start funding for in each of those plans.
At the 1%.
Correct.
So at 1%, the reserves go up by 60,000 roughly.
That's correct. Yep, if we run at 100, if we take a 1% increase and we run at 100% of expected, we would still grow that reserve by 60 grand, which is a fantastic spot to be in, honestly.
And then so with the concern about the reserve, what I'm thinking through, and tell me if this is correct, so clearly we have a stop loss, but if the claims hit to a level that they're not hitting the stop loss, but let's say a significant proportion of employees are
The death
getting
by a
really
thousand paper
close,
cuts, right.
that's when we're having to potentially dip into the, so that could happen in any given year, right? So that's
Correct.
what we're
Correct.
protecting against that one issue right there, right?
Yeah, and to make that really easy and for everyone else to easily understand, page one, that percentage of expected, you know how we're running at 86 right now and 98 in that previous 12? See that column all the way on the right? Basically, you guys have insurance. If we ran at 125% of expected, so if we were running really hot, if we ran at 125% of expected, you have insurance that pays out dollar for dollar over 125. The reserve gets you from the 100% to the 125 to make sure you have enough to cover if it really goes off. Is that helpful?
Yeah. So
The
that's
reserve covers from 100 to 125, essentially.
So the 739, would that be enough? So that would be enough to cover up to 125%.
Yep.
For the next year.
Yeah, and
Okay.
let's add to it right now, the reserve is at 1.6 million. So if we ran at 125% next year, we would eat up that $739,000 out of the account, and we would still have
okay.
whatever that 900,000 in our reserve. Make sense? Hope,
Again, one more time, though, at the current, if we just said current, or said we want to bump it by 1%, that difference is what? How much?
60?
Is it 60 or 30?
60, I think 60 if we hold rate steady, if you hold the amount steady, it would still add 31.
31.
If you go 1%, right, it goes up to, it would add 60,000 to the
correct.
reserve?
Yep, correct. So if you held your rates right now, where they are, and you guys ran at 100%, which I think is fair to say could happen, you'd still grow that reserve by about $31,800.
But to do the 1%, it'd be a total of 60,000.
Correct. It would grow our reserve 60,000.
Okay.
And realistically, could you hold your rates? You can, but it's not responsible for me to stand up here and tell you to hold your rates all the time, because we want to always continuously improve our funding just a little bit. So if we do have a bad year, we've got our funding in a good spot so that we're not in a hole and trying to dig out of a hole.
And none of this has anything to do with what the employees will pay.
Correct.
In terms of their share, right? That's a whole
Correct. You
different-
guys can
right.
determine, you
Okay.
can, yep, you can take on that amount internally. So the difference in the 1% increase is, what is that? It's 2.813 versus 2.841. So if the city wanted to pay that, what is that, $30,000? The city could pay that $30,000 and hold the employee contribution rate the same.
If it was current rate, not with the 1%.
Not with a 1% increase,
Correct.
correct?
Yeah. But I don't know if that's fiscally responsible
Manageable.
versus doing the 1%. And it's also what you're recommending.
Right. I always say if we take our 1 or 2%, the next time I'm standing in front of you next year, we're in a much better position to have more good news. That's my recommendation.
Seems like if
But we
we're
don't have
able to do at least 1% a year, that would be more responsible than having to try to do 2% next year. More
And
manageable.
It's also, just as a reminder, the budget will be reduced from this year. It will be reduced next year, the year after, and the year after that till 2027 or 8. 28 is, based on the legislature, a very difficult year. In fact, have you ever approached the state with some of your programs about running a statewide program? Because they could afford to save some money as well.
Yeah, yeah. Richard has had multiple meetings
Yes.
with the governor, the new governor, and Gloria Sachdev, who's the newly appointed Secretary of Health and Human Services for
Yes.
Indiana. So yes, they are actually working on that and trying to find a way for us to.
Because the governor was excited about our plan and the ideas that we had, but I haven't seen any movement on their part.
Conversations are ongoing right now.
Good.
So I don't know exactly where they stand, but if you give Richard a call, I think he'd be able to kind of provide an update. I'd also share that with the orthopedic and cardiovascular center of excellence that you guys have, if we continue to share that with people and we have just a few people take advantage of that, that's going to help drive down our costs as well. So the state of Indiana is looking to take advantage of that same orthopedic program with Richard right now. So I just want to make sure if We look like we're in a great spot right now. If we continue to market and advertise our orthopedic and our cardiovascular programs, we're going to see big hundreds of thousands of dollars in savings if we have 10 or 15 people take advantage of that.
Is that preventative, what you're referring to, those programs?
No, those are surgical programs. So if someone needs an orthopedic surgery, shoulder, elbow, knee, hip, you guys have a direct contract with one of the best orthopedic hospitals in the state. And essentially what we're seeing, you're getting it at about 40% less than you guys would be paying at some of these facilities here. And the same with cardiovascular. You guys have a direct contract with the #2 rated heart hospital in the entire country that's located down in Carmel. So if someone needs a major cardiac surgery, not emergency, but if someone needs a major cardiac surgery, you guys have a direct contract with them. Again, about 30 or 40% less than anything you'd pay at a hospital here. And your members do not pay a deductible and out of pocket. So that's thousands of dollars that your people are saving. You guys are saving tens of thousands, and we're helping to drive down the cost of the health plan.
So the reserve amount, that doesn't sit in a effectively kind of 0% savings account, right? That's invested, so does that grow as well?
The reserve account?
Yeah, the reserve
that sits
account.
at 1.6?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, do you?
Our employee
have any-
benefits account is at Centir, and then we have, that's probably 800, 900,000, and it's in an interest-bearing account.
Okay.
And then the rest of the funds to make up the 1.5 or 1.6 million is in the Hoosier Fund, which is
Okay.
invested, the state's Hoosier Fund. It's an investment.
Is that helpful?
Yeah.
So there's a return.
Just want to
on
make sure it's not,
investment.
yeah.
It's making money, but.
So the other part of that, and one thing Courtney, I think, has done extremely well in her team, is not just settling. Being proactive, I've spent a couple times in Carmel with you, looking at the Carmel School Program. Proactively, what are things now, because we don't want to settle, for a healthier employee team, are we going to look at, or what are things out there that some people have been successful at that we need to get them to the workout facility, we need to get them eating, programs, whatever else? What are you seeing out there that communities are doing?
Truly, the best way to lay a foundation for a wellness program starts around biometric screening events and simply allowing members to have blood drawn either at our different departments at the cost of the city. So allowing people at no expense to themselves to have biometric screenings done, have blood work run, and if we catch something in the blood work, it's those people that have higher risk that we really need to address to start. So those are really the things that we're seeing at the most foundational level. It's not a huge financial commitment from your end, and we're picking up the people that actually need the care the most and engaging with them to make sure they're taken in. We've got to get them on the right path so that we're directing their care to the most efficient and highest quality. So biometric screening events, where the city takes care of that, whether we work directly with Franciscan or another carrier to do that, would be the simple start. And then once people get engaged, put the biometric screening event in. First year, everybody's price may be the same, but as we look to do our renewal next year, those that decide not to engage in our biometric screening event, maybe they have a $5 increase per paycheck. And those that engage in the biometric screening have a rate hold. Just a little bit of a stick and carrot approach sometimes on if you're willing to engage with us and look at your overall health, we're going to help make sure that we're keeping your prices low. And if you're not as in tune to helping us drive these costs down, we're just going to simply ask you to help us support that financially a little more because there's a heavier financial burden.
Do we have a struggle getting the screening?
No, not at all. It's a great benefit. Our participation is high, and we have caught some cancers during this initial screening. So, again, it's usually every January after the holidays, and we will be doing them at Franciscan this year, and then we go back and they review your blood work, and they send you to a specialist if they flag something that they see. So we are doing all that. We also offer discount for doing the biometric screening for employees now as well. So we're doing all those things.
Okay.
And we're catching them. But we have a great program. We really do. I mean,
Yes, we do.
We've got a number of wellness platforms that somebody can try to sell you. It costs you $15,000 a year, and the only people you're giving gift cards to are the ones that are healthy already. So
Right.
I'm happy to bring you guys or walk them through some of the, the wellness platforms. There is just not a whole lot of juice to squeeze at the end of the day when we don't like to come to you guys saying, hey, let's put in this fixed cost, and then let's try to find a way to get an ROI on it in 2 years, and they're gonna fluff up the ROI number, and then we ended up coughing up 30 grand on a wellness platform to give 10 grand away in Amazon cards to your healthiest 5% of your people. That's what we see all the time. So I'm a little hesitant to recommend the wellness platforms, but that's certainly an option. We did three major things this year to try to get this back on track, right? We left United Healthcare and went to Anthem. We changed our clinic vendor to get our financial situation in a better position. And then we offered these direct contracts. So the city now has the direct contracts on the orthopedic and the cardiovascular. One thing that we have not rolled out is our cancer care by MedZone. So we have a direct relationship with Dr. Jennifer Carter in Boston, who runs MedZone. It is a cancer and rare and unique disease state program. Essentially, it's something that you guys pay about $6,700 a year for the entire city. And members that have rare or unique diseases or cancer can get hooked up with clinical trials where all of their care is free, and it's all done outside of your group health plan within a trial sponsored by Mayo Clinic, sponsored by Lilly, sponsored by, is it Rush that's in Chicago? Sponsored by Rush. So maybe something we need to consider is adding that MedZone cancer care and rare disease state piece. We can do a Teams call on that, make it very brief. It's very low cost, but it does have a fixed cost component. What we're seeing is if we have just one or two members that are battling cancer and get into a clinical trial, it's not unusual for us to see $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 in savings, because you're taking some of your most expensive members, you're moving them off of the health plan, and you're giving them access to some of the most cutting edge technologies that are out there. And the way they like to describe it, and I describe it the same way, everything that we do now that is a successful treatment for cancer, it was a clinical trial at one point. So this is not snake oil, this is not medicine sales. In some cases, this is the exact same high-end cancer drug that they're using to beat cancer, and they put a placebo with it. So you're getting something you guys may be paying $300,000 for a year. It comes off of your group health plan, and it's the exact same drug they had before, but they're giving them a sugar pill with it too. So that would be our next recommendation. Is we really want to focus on our highest cost claimants.
So were we to go that direction with the MedZone, then that would conceptually, potentially decrease the amount of times that we either hit 100% or hit into the stop loss zone, which then kind of looking forward a year, 2, 3, 4 out, our stop loss piece of the insurance might be less. We might save some money. It's all, we don't know for sure, right? But that's the idea, right? That's the possibility.
So
while getting potentially, in a clinical trial, like access to care that's not yet available to everybody.
Correct. Yes.
Interesting. All right, another topic. The federal government, I just heard this week, late last week, they say they're going to reduce prescription costs. That's what's coming up now, even though the math may not work, like 1,000%, 1,500% reductions, but like Canada and other
The most favored nation status, essentially.
countries pay, that we will see, the United States will see prescription costs drop. Thoughts, is that, do you see feasible?
I have heard, and we are being a little standoffish on making claims that that's going to work. It seems like there's a little bit of a smoke and mirrors game played. There's some demands being met, but I'm not sure there's a whole lot of teeth behind them on the back end if somebody doesn't meet those particular requirements from the federal government. So I do think it's going to help drive down some of our costs, but I don't think it's going to maybe 5%, 7% on the pharmacy piece. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near like the 20, 30, 40% that it may be touted as.
Or 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000% as I heard late this week. Okay. Further comments, discussion?
Can I make one more comment on the stop-loss piece? Because you said it very well. We also, outside of Anthem, we have about 6 carriers that recognize MedZone as a really effective cost containment tool. So if a MedZone product is in place, if the trials are in place, our stop-loss carriers are willing to give us about a 5 to 8% reduction on our stop-loss costs because they see the immediate reduction of their risk at the end of the day. So not only does it help our stop-loss renewal in the future, we do have a number of stop-loss markets that will cut us a better deal because we have been able to prove to them having MedZone in place reduces their risk at the end of the day. And if you think about it, these giant cancer claims and rare disease, hemophilia, all this stuff, the stop-loss carriers are really on the hook more than you guys. You guys are on the hook for 125 grand. If it's a $4 million genetic modification to get rid of Crohn's, Parkinson's, your stop-loss carriers are really the ones that are on the hook for it. So we've seen that help our stop-loss renewals as well when MedZone's in place.
And so with the clinical trials, like they're out there. You don't necessarily need MedZone.
Yeah.
However, MedZone is kind of the facilitator, sort of a find out where the trials are for the right person.
Yes.
Which may be in Louisville or Seattle or whatever.
Correct.
That's what they do, right?
Correct.
They're kind of a clearinghouse for
Yeah.
access to the trials.
Yes, Dr. Carter, who is out of Boston, is one of the most respected oncology doctors in that area, and she actually developed the database that connects all of the clinical trials to each other throughout the state. So the fact that she has a database and created it herself makes it much easier for a member to find them, get enrolled in them, and MedZone does all the hand-holding. Some of these, it's a 20-page application, right? MedZone completes everything. They'll jump on the phone with the member. They'll help get that process from start to finish. But yes,
We have a few employees that want to go into clinical trials, but there's so many hoops to jump through that they need help. And this would be a great partner.
It'd be nice to hear from other clients of yours that use MedZone to hear how their employees and staff, what the benefit is to them and know that they enjoy using that particular piece.
oh yeah, I've got that for you. It's been really impactful, and you'd be shocked. A lot of HR departments, people don't even need the trial. They get emails from people within the community saying, I'm really glad you rolled this out because I know somebody that could take advantage of this or could have taken advantage of it in the past. So we definitely have that.
Yeah, just to make sure that staff understand that it's to their benefit, not just because we're trying to cut cost and insurance, right? It's not just about the numbers, it's also about the care.
All those programs will always be 100% voluntary as well. So the member will always have the option to opt out, never even take the call on MedZone. If they don't want to do the orthopedic or cardio, they're always welcome to use it through the health plan too. So that's part of our education, is this is always voluntary. If you'd like to step away and go the traditional route through your healthcare plan, you've always got that, right?
Yeah, that's
Very
great.
scary for employees and their families to hear the word cancer. So
Absolutely.
So I'll kind of debrief with your team on that, and if you guys decide that that's the right fit, we could roll that out.
Worthwhile, definitely.
Worthwhile looking at for sure. Yeah.
Do you need a motion, Andrea?
yes, please.
Do I have a motion to approve?
To approve the renewal or the rate increase or what
At the
motion are
1%.
you?
Was what, yeah.
At the 1%,
1% increase?
So
if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, yes.
I'd be happy with that personally. Any
So
movement on our
budget-wise-
funding would be fantastic.
budget-wise, that 1% increase it's acceptable.
We have to
From-
make it work.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's the high-cost things that we have to budget for. We have to back everything else. I mean, we have to have this, so we have to back into everything else.
Okay.
And it's just a different year. There's a different budget model that we're working with Baker Tilly on because of Senate Bill 1. So it's going to be interesting. We're kind of doing some back and forth right now, and that's what we talked about yesterday at department heads. Usually by now, department heads have kind of numbers to work within, and we just don't have that yet. We hopefully soon will, but these big things are the things that are a non-negotiable, and then we have to back end into everything else.
And I think our commitment is to the health of our employees. That's more important from our perspective, especially when we're looking at things. We don't want to give something this next year to have to take it back the next year as funding continues
Oh,
to be
yeah.
reduced. So we want to make sure we're based on 3 years out what we can do so this doesn't go away,
Yep.
because this is important.
So a 1% increase, I think I'm seeing is about $28,000 extra. Are we on the same page there, Courtney? So about $28,000 extra is what it would cost the city if the city wanted to pay all of it and keep that employee share the exact same. And I think that'd put us in a good spot to fund our costs and hopefully even grow our reserve a little bit and be standing here in 1 year having the same conversation.
And we can still review what employees are paying outside of that.
Total flexibility on that.
You can look at the mix. I think that's fair.
So
Right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the renewal at that 1% increase.
Second.
Further comment?
Well, just, I mean, I think kind of in general, like, I mean, looking at this, say, we've got a good reserve right now. I know someone might say, well, why would we add to the reserve? I'm, just thinking through kind of what's going to happen in the next several years budget-wise from the state, like, this to me just seems smart. We might, next year, we might be in a position where we may have to take, drop it a percent or whatever. But right now, like, while we can, and again, kind of to your point, Mayor, of like focusing on the health of the employees, I think I'd rather kind of invest the money in the health of the employees and then have to find some place to save.
Yeah, and when,
$30,000, right?
and when
That-
you're talking about us having multiple people that are utilizing the stop loss right now, we've seen we get weekly invoices from Anthem, and it's not, recently we got a $190,000 invoice. So, yes, we have, $1.6 million, but cancer happen, things happen. I call Andrea as soon as I see that 190,000, I'm like,
Right.
we have to talk it over, the stop loss is gonna hit, we're always looking at that, because it can change in a heartbeat, so.
Last week's one was $10,000, so, it was great to see that number.
One thing I'll add is, I think Brown and Brown, I think you guys have done a great job with this, and Andrea, I applaud you for kind of pulling this all together. And I'd also say, thank you to the employees, because clearly they're making sort of, let's call it daily, weekly, monthly decisions for more cost-effective healthcare, and I assume that they're making the best decision for themselves, but it's also helping the city be in a better position to build reserve, be in a good position for next year, and be able to do these things, and hopefully, maintain the employee cost.
We don't always expect it to be perfect, but it needs to be sustainable and really strong. And I think we have a sustainable and a really strong model in place for how we're providing care to people, especially when they need some of those extra things like orthopedic, cardiovascular. We can get that to them for free. Saves them thousands of dollars, and it makes sure we're taking care of people, so.
And not only on the health insurance plan, but also on the clinic. I think this is a good fit. I've heard nothing but good things. I don't know about everyone else, but I've heard nothing but good things. And the RX costs, the prescription costs, are sustainable now, so.
And again, just a reminder on the orthopedic, on the heart, our employees can have a check written to them for having surgery, no cost to them. So there's great opportunity to remind everybody to, if something happens, get it checked out potentially at one of those two locations.
Yeah, we want to make sure we continue to market and educate people on those programs.
We just did. And we had very few hiccups switching from North Shore to Franciscan. So that was a great thing, and kudos to our employees for the transition.
I do have a motion and a second. Further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, and thank you for your partnership.
Thank you for your time and your support. We'll debrief on the MedZone clinical trials in the weeks ahead, and we'll send you guys an invite. Mayor Dermody, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick.
Andrea, your copies are up here if you'd like to get them later.
And just a reminder to everybody, patience please while Indiana Avenue progress happens with the traffic around. It will get better, and things will get calmer. And with that, do I have something that needs to be?
Removed from the table.
Removed from the table.
And a couple items added to
Where's
the
Bert
agenda.
And added.
So first, would we like to remove from the table?
The quote for the truck, yes, please.
What would you like to add?
2 more quotes and a proposal from Nice.
So
I'll
I
make a
guess,
motion.
yes,
Is that what I need to do?
to remove from the
correct?
table.
I will make a motion to remove from the table the truck lease quotes. Is that correct, Tim?
Yes.
Okay.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Werner.
What you have before you is 3 different quotes from Enterprise, our leasing company. The quote number 188338 was the actual quote that was tabled from last Board of Works. This truck is a truck that would be purchased, it was already on our capital plan to purchase, so this isn't a replacement vehicle. This is one that we already were looking to purchase this year.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. And again, Tim, what type of truck is this?
This is a 2500 pickup truck, the Chevy 2500 for the maintenance guys is what this truck would be used for.
And is there a trade on this, or?
No, this is one that we're just purchasing outright. That was already in my capital plan for 2 pickups this year.
Right.
Further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next one, whichever one, we can go with the 9188425.
Yes.
This will be replacing a van that is a '06 van. This would be for our maintenance facility team. Makes a lot more sense to put a utility bed on this truck, so that's what the quote is in front of you. Is another vehicle that's replacing a vehicle from '06, but a little different style. Toolboxes on the side, that way everything doesn't have to be crammed in the van, and just makes more sense from a maintenance perspective for the guys for this truck.
But this one will be different from the first one because,
Yeah, first of all, it's a 3500 and it has a utility bed on the back, you know, with all the toolboxes on the sides and the top and inside. We'll be able to keep more tools in there and keep them secured. And like I said, this is a replacement from a '06 van.
motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This one are we purchasing all of these outright or leasing any
These will
of them?
be through the lease program, right, Courtney?
This
Whatever,
will?
yeah, whatever
Okay.
is in the capital plan, yeah.
The first one will be purchased. And
Right. This will be leased. Gotcha.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And then lastly, there's a 1500 truck on there. It's a half-ton truck. Our meter van, which is a 2012, went in for some repairs through the maintenance program. Enterprise got back with me. It just doesn't make sense to repair this. We're like $6,000 in repairs that need to be done to this vehicle. It lists out at only $3,500. So we didn't need a big truck for the meter guys. This is a straight cab truck, no extended cab, 1500, 4-wheel drive, basic truck, 8-foot bed. That way they can get the wrenches in the back, toolbox in the back, just to do shut-offs and install meters.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So that, like, when in this situation, like the truck we're just not gonna get repaired, does it go up for auction, sale?
So
Or
that
is
rolls
that
into
part of the lease program? So it-
Yeah,
okay,
the
gotcha.
lease program.
Okay.
So whatever they get out of that will roll back into the cost of this vehicle.
Okay, got it, all right.
And we get that at retail. We don't have to sell it at, you know,
Wholesale.
yeah, we get it at retail price.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
not that it's gonna be, it's,
Yeah.
and it's not working well, so, but anyway.
But it eliminates the hassle and the time,
Yeah,
correct?
that's for sure.
So that's beneficial.
Motion to approve.
So moved. We
Second.
did that, I
Oh,
think,
we
already.
already did that?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And
And
then
then lastly, I got a proposal from Nice Engineering. This is for some shop drawings, just more engineering services for the contract 2 for the well line, not to exceed the $32,500.
And what is this?
I'm asking for permission to sign this and get it back to Nice. This is for Nice Construction Services, Engineering Services for Contract 2 on the Soldier Memorial Well Field.
And what does that include? What will they be doing?
The shop drawing, submittal review and acceptance, taking care of the pay applications, site review, or site visits as needed, and the punch list and project closeout.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion.
With these, so these contracts that are like, kind of capped out, but by service, like, do they typically tend to run pretty close to that estimated max?
They do.
I mean, it's kind of, so really, it's kind of roughly, they've already figured that it's likely to cost about this amount,
Yes.
Yeah.
but still caps, okay.
And again, this is for new work?
This is for the contract 2 of the Soldier Memorial Well Field.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
And Mr. Warner or Tim, the equipment, you're still working on other equipment, so we have to work with any
Oh,
type
yeah,
of
we're looking for a
heavy
mini.
duty.
Yep. Yeah. We're looking for a mini excavator right now to get in the yards and to replace our backhoe and a new war wagon.
So you can do sewer work too?
Yeah. As you can see, the vehicles that we're replacing, some of them are 20 years old. Most of them are 20 years old.
Didn't we buy a war wagon?
No.
I feel like that word just keeps traveling
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
I agree. What is a war wagon
So
again?
that's our
Remind me.
big, that's the big truck you see when it's got our power all on. It's a power all truck. So when there's
On 11th Street, wasn't it just on 11th?
yeah, that truck's a 2000. That's out there. I know it's hard to tell. We keep good care of them.
That's good. It's fully depreciated.
Any other items to remove off the table? I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.